Good. See, we've got any sound here. We've got sound. We've got sound. I think we're ready to get started, people. What was that? Let's try that again. That didn't sound right. Let's try this one instead. Those sounds sound very funny. How about this? That's a bit more like it. So, we're back again. Bayloric TV boxing channel. We've given you so far Cam Smith versus Rocky Fielding preview. We've given you Maris Vac versus Alexander Povetkin post-fight video. And now we're giving you Frampton versus Quigg. Been away a while. Caught up in other platforms doing other wonderful things. For those of you who know, great. And those of you who don't, I'll have to leave you in suspense. Yeah, so we're back. It's Frampton and Quigg we're talking about. Finally, this fight has been made. Frampton versus Quigg, the fight that everybody has been talking about. See, the first thing we have to think about, before we even talk about Frampton Quigg, the fight, let's just talk about the promoter Eddie Hearn, just for a minute. I remember when Carl Frampton was being promoted by Eddie Hearn. And I remember Carl Frampton's, Eddie Hearn saying, Carl Frampton, best super bantamweight in the world. He's definitely going to knock out Scott Quigg. Well, things changed. Carl Frampton moved over to Barry Wigan. And then, not too long after, Quigg moved in the direction of Eddie Hearn. And we heard those great words. There's no doubt in my mind, Scott Quigg is the best super bantamweight in the world, and he knocks out Carl Frampton. And if you go on YouTube, you can look at that almost schizophrenic video of Eddie Hearn. The man said it. Of course, his job is a promoter, so he's meant to promote the fight. He's meant to tell us, he's meant to promote his fight. So he does a good job. Having said that, I wasn't totally impressed with, I think, Carl Frampton when he had won in Belfast. And poor Scott Quigg was over there by himself. And Eddie Hearn wasn't with him. But nevertheless, we had the 1.5 million deal over in Sky Sports. We heard the various, he's ducking him, that nonsense. Now the fight has been made. Another big fight in British boxing. This time, both guys are world champions. I know what you're going to say before you say, yeah, but Rigondeaux's the man. Quigg and Frampton will both get beat by Rigondeaux the same night. Okay, great. I know you're going to say that, and that may or may not be the truth. Well, I don't believe that Rigondeaux beats both of them on the same night. I believe he can beat both of them. He's talented enough to beat both of them. But I think both fighters pose different challenges, and they're both fights I'd love to see. So, what about Santa Cruz? Santa Cruz have beaten them both as well. I know. So let's give you a round of applause for that. Yeah, those claps don't sound too great tonight. Anyway, sound kind of sick. But anyway, back to my point. I think my initial thoughts about this fight, boxing has another big fight. If we listen to some of these boxing experts and some of these boxing analysts and boxing so-called experts, you wouldn't get any fights because you'd be waiting for Rigondeaux to fight Frampton or Quigg, and who really wants to fight Rigondeaux? Honestly, nobody really wants to fight Rigondeaux because the guy is so damn good. But we want to see those fights. Today, boxing is not about the best fighting the best. And we do get that. That's fine. Well, I think the market's moving that way simply because of the fact Al Heyman's come along and has done what he's done with the various TV networks. Of course, one man's got a monopoly, but he has got a huge amount of fighters and some of the best in the world, champions. And so that does play a pivotal role. In Europe are feeling it. So America has got, obviously Top Rank and Golden Boy, but they're feeling it too. So the buck really is with Al Heyman. And of course, that has a significant effect on, you know, how many super fights can be made or big fights can be made. So there's the force, or there's the situation where we need to make these fights happen. It's not about boxing. Is not about glory as such. It's about this money. It's about money. That's what it's down to: money and business sense. Now, there is something about this Frampton fight, Quigg fight, that at first it was like, yeah, Frampton, definitely, man. Frampton knockout Quigg. That was the case until the man from Belfast, the Irishman, stepped across to America and he fought on that PBC card. And he was touching canvas within the first 30 seconds. And then he was touching canvas again. Because the first time was the guy dropped him, bam, Frampton went down. And he like flash knockdown. So I was like, it was only a flash knockdown, don't worry about it. And then the guy went bang again, and Frampton went down again. Got up, dusted himself down, did the 12 rounds. Did well. Frampton looked vulnerable at times. Now on the flip side, we had Scott Quigg, who a lot of people thought Kiko Martinez would have given him a good fight, if not beaten him. And Kiko Martinez, you know, we know he can punch, and people always say, well, Quigg's around a bit shaky around the chin. And the first round, Kiko looked like he meant business. They said, oh, Kiko only came for the money. Well, in the first round, he looked like he meant business, right? And then in the middle of the second round, gets caught with a beautiful shot from Quigg, and Quigg finishes him off. So now, to me, my opinion, had the fight been made, Quigg Frampton been made before Frampton went to PBC, I think Frampton would have had more of the advantage. But they didn't. I don't think they calculated this right, because in my estimation, had they taken the Frampton taken Quigg instead of fought that fight in PBC in America, Frampton would still have that aura about him. He would have beaten Kiko Martinez twice. He'd have been a guy doing his business in Belfast. He'd had that defense against whoever that guy was. He made the defense against the American, and he would look good. Now, I think the Frampton brand has been somewhat tarnished. The knockdown, yes, he looks vulnerable. Up to that point, I thought Frampton had a great chin. Then I've seen photos of him looking overweight, slightly overweight. Then he was in Belfast. So he does blow up a bit. And for me, the momentum now shifts from Carl Frampton to Scott Quigg. Because, all right, you're going to sit down and say to me, yeah, well, Scott Quigg's got a bit cheap. He got dropped early in his career. He did get dropped early in his career. So did Kell Brook get dropped early in his career. But Scott Quigg hasn't looked as vulnerable as Carl Frampton. And let's get something straight here. Yeah, well, Scott Quigg, he hasn't fought many world beaters, has he? Then you look at the Carl Frampton situation. Carl Frampton, who was the geezer that dropped him? Let me tell you who the geezer was that dropped him. That geezer, that I think the Mexican guy that dropped him. That Mexican guy that dropped him was ranked. He was the 16th best Mexican in Mexico. 16th best. And he was not even in the top 10 or top 20 in the world rankings. Right? That guy was made as a showcase for Frampton to show what he could do. And in the first minute, he showed he could test the canvas. This is just brutally being honest with you, boxing fans. Frampton did not look impressive. He got off the canvas, yes. But in terms of selling a fight with Quigg, that doesn't look great. And that's not the only way. The only place that Frampton's looked vulnerable, he's also looked vulnerable to the body. Now, I don't know if Frampton's got problems making weight. I don't know if Frampton's got he doesn't like, but well, nobody likes body shots. I don't know boxers. Yeah, I love a body shot. Give me a body shot. But it's just the case that Frampton's looked more vulnerable than Scott Quigg. As he's moved up in class, he started to look more vulnerable. Those are just my thoughts. He also seemed to look vulnerable with a guy who's taller than him. He didn't seem to have he had a problem with the right hand all the time. Couldn't get out of the way of the right hand. You've got to ask yourself the question, Scott Quigg is a body puncher. Frampton's more of a head puncher. And it's like I've said about the Callum Smith versus Rocky Fielding. The same thing I said about these two guys. One's a body puncher, one's a head puncher. Similar fight here. Frampton, Quigg, body puncher. Frampton, head puncher. I think, in my estimation, the balance has shifted. 45% Frampton, 55% Quigg. Why? Frampton's last performance. That, for me, says it. Oh yeah, but that guy was taller, he's longer dimensions. But that guy was meant to be not a bum, but he was meant to make Frampton look good. He made Frampton look ordinary. Now the fight now is not even in Belfast; it's in Manchester. So now Frampton, now as the guy who's got the superior title, now has to come to Manchester and fight in Quigg's backyard, the paper champion's backyard. Work that one out. You know, I can see a trilogy with these guys, Frampton, Quigg. Definitely a trilogy, like a Marc Antonio Barrera, Eric Morales sort of trilogy sort of thing happening here. I'm sure there'll be a rematch there, depending on how the fight goes. If one gets blown out in a couple of rounds, then. But I certainly there's a nice little trilogy of fights there, or good 2 fights there at least. That shuts out what's his name, Cruz, and shuts out Rigondeaux. But I guess the loser will fight Santa Cruz. Maybe the winner may fight Rigondeaux. I don't know. Who knows? And Donaire may be coming to the mix as well. But my initial thoughts about this fight, I think it's a great fight. Again, it doesn't tell us who the best in the world is. It kind of just sorts out who the best in Britain is. You know, kind of what the Tyson Fury thing, when Tyson Fury said British world champions. Yeah, Frampton's done the business, beat Kiko Martinez, and the whole situation with Scott Quigg, and you know, the man in that division is Rigondeaux. So, you know, while they have the domestic dust up, and whoever wins that fight, you know, as a unification match, wins the becomes unified champion, and then maybe there's a rematch. One that just settles between those two. I mean, if it's 1-1, then wow, we've got 3 fights. But you know, if you're looking at in terms of things moving forward, Quigg's camp has certainly got Joe Gallagher, a very successful camp. Shane McGuigan, technical deficiencies in Frampton now after that last fight. You could say he was weight drained. You could say he wasn't prepared. He better be prepared to come the fight in Manchester. I like Frampton a lot. He's one of my favourite fighters. I actually like Quigg too. I like the way Quigg puts nice, fast combination together. I'm not sure he's got faster hands. I'd probably say Quigg's got faster hands. Quigg doesn't move his head that much. Frampton, I don't know. I really don't know. But it looks like Quigg's the bigger man in there with Frampton, and you know, against Frampton. Who knows? I think it's a great fight. I think it's a fight that boxing fans have definitely got something to look forward to. Let's hope nobody gets injured, no cancellations, and we've got a great fight. Come closer to the fight, I will make a final prediction. But as for now, I'm going with Scott Quigg on this one because of timing. I would have probably gone all Frampton before the PBC debut, but now I'm going Quigg. Love to know what you guys are thinking. I'm sure a lot of you are Frampton fans like I am, but the man from Belfast has looked vulnerable. Those are my thoughts. Hit me up, let me know. This has been Ingram Jones from Bayloric TV Boxing Channel. I gotta go. I've got an exclusive to chase up. I'm out of here. Take care.